Hi, so this video is for the Oyster Nebula, which was part of my Milky Way bath series that I did for Inktober of 2020. And I'm gonna be honest, I really wasn't originally going to post this video. I was going to delete it and forget all about it. But enough people liked it that they told me to save it and use it and do something with it anyways, since I had already finished the painting and I had already filmed it. Why not follow through with it? So obviously there's been a huge time gap. I painted this piece, I want to say in December, if I'm remembering correctly, of 2020. And it was the last piece that I did in the Milky Way Bath series. It was the piece that I can't say it's this piece directly's fault. But by the time I got to this one, I was extremely burnt out and just done with Inktober. It had, started in October, rolled into December, and I was just so ready to be done with it. So it wasn't that there's anything wrong with this specific prompt or this painting in particular. It was just the timing. I just was so ready to be done with the whole project at this point. That this painting suffered for it. And so I kind of have, not a resentment towards it, but I definitely don't like it overall, because it's not my best, because you can tell that I was done. My heart wasn't in it, and that's okay, it happens. But this is the piece that suffered from it. So it's the Oyster Nebula, and what the nebula looks like is essentially it's a giant glowing blue circle. And so there wasn't a lot to work with. So I went with the whole idea of oysters, and inside oysters you find pearls, and pearls make me think of old Hollywood glam. So that's kind of the theme that I went with this character. But yeah, I can't really say it's a particularly interesting painting. There just wasn't a lot to work with in general, which I think was a relief that I did end on this painting, because it was an easy painting to get through. This video in itself is only about 10 minutes long because it was a really straightforward painting process, which was good. It was a good note to end on because it wasn't something that I really had to drag out and suffer through. It was just something that I could finish and close that chapter. And I guess I couldn't really call the chapter closed until I did upload this video. So this is the official end of the Milky Way Bath series. I had mentioned before that I would maybe revisit them in the future to go back to some of the prompts that I couldn't finish, but I don't think I will. I think I'm done with that. I've done it now for 2 Inktobers, and I just want to do other things. I still love my space girls. I still love my space art. That is not going to change. I will still continue to do that kind of theme for my illustrations, but I think I'm just no longer going to continue with this particular series, and that's okay. I did learn a lot through them, and it's something that I did. I'm proud of it. I accomplished it. I didn't finish all of them, and I'm not going to finish all of them, but that's okay. I'm at peace with that. I definitely do want to work with ink in the future. I did really enjoy learning ink for this series, so that's something good that came out of it as well. And even though I was burnt out and my heart wasn't in it in this painting, I still didn't want the painting to suffer too much because of it. I still did as much with it as I could have. And I'm proud of myself for that even at my low point, at my burnout, I still put the effort in when it mattered. So I did all these little tiny details. I did the shading. I do the hair wispies. I didn't want to just completely give up. And that is something that I can proudly say that I did. So that's good. I actually do think the shading is really nice in this painting. Now that time has passed, I don't hold as much resentment towards this one as I did at the time, and I can look at the things that I, did that I'm proud of, and I think the shading, especially on the fabric, I mean, I did a good job with that. I'm not usually one to compliment myself, especially with my art, but I'm learning to be better at it and, being kinder to myself. So I will say I'm very proud of all of the shading that I did. So my Jelly Roll pen, or I don't know if it was Jelly Roll or if it was the Uniball, or are those the same pens? I don't know. Basically, my white gel pens gummed up at this point, and they weren't really working. You can see I'm kind of going back and forth between pens. I was having issues with them towards the end because I had been using them the entire series, so I did do a combination of the white acrylic ink and the gel pen. I had a lot of fun with the hair wispies on this one too. But I always have fun with the hair wispies. But I think I wanted to just, I wanted it to not, I didn't want to end on a sour note. So I did really enjoy doing the hair, which also has some really nice shading in it. I was really frustrated working on it, but towards the end, I really wanted to at least end on something that I enjoyed doing. And I think I did that. So because the whole character herself is very wispy and muted and white, instead of the classic kind of pearlescent pearls, I did gold instead. So it doesn't really translate too well as pearls, but I still really like it nonetheless. Hollywood Glam Oyster Nebula, the last and final piece of the Milky Way bath series. Thank you all for watching all of these videos and sticking with me on this journey.